The ongoing winter session has only deepened the chill between the government and what is an increasingly united opposition, at least inside Parliament. 5 days after Parliament security was breached by a group of people, 6 of whom have been arrested since then, the protests inside Parliament by the opposition benches continued and in fact got more heated. The result? 92 MPs of the opposition now stand suspended for the rest of the winter session, cutting across party lines. The opposition today said that this is a classic sign of dictatorship, where the Modi Sarkar wants to create an opposition-less parliament and kill off any sign of dissent and debate. Their demand of the centre is twofold: that Home Minister Amit Shah make a statement on the security breach inside Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, followed by a detailed discussion. It was this demand that led to protests inside the House, with slogans and placards being raised in both the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha. Subsequently, the chair suspended 33 MPs of the Lok Sabha and 45 Rajya Sabha MPs today itself. Add this to the one Rajya Sabha MP, Derek O'Brien, who was suspended earlier, and the other MPs from the Lok Sabha who had also been suspended last week, which meant that today an even 46 MPs apiece from the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha now stand suspended. In addition to this, are 11, in the Lok Sabha, the suspended MPs include 11 members of Congress, 9 members each of the TMC and DMK, and 2 IUML MPs. The case of 3 Lok Sabha and 11 Rajya Sabha MPs has also been referred to a privilege committee, basically underlining the fact that any kind of disruption is now going to be met with an iron fist.
Members in deep pain. Right from the start of today's proceedings, some honorable members had disrupted the House by shouting slogans, even entered the well of the House. The House had to be adjourned twice. Thereby the agenda by the House could not be taken up. Honorable members may appreciate that 0-hour submissions and question hour belong to them to raise matters of public importance and hold government accountable. Despite my repeated requests, some honorable members continued their act of willful defiance of the directives of the chair and violation of the rules of House due to their ignoble and grossly disorderly conduct.
ये दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है कि हम इस घटनाओं को लेकर कुछ राजनीति कर रहे हैं। ये किसी भी तरह की राजनीति करने वाली घटना नहीं है और इस घटना से कभी भी निलंबन जो माननीय सदस्यों है उस घटना से संबंध भी नहीं है। तख्तियां, नारेबाजी करना, बेल में आकर आसन के नजदीक आना, ये सदन की गरिमा के अनुकूल नहीं है और देश की जनता भी इसको पसंद नहीं करती। इसलिए हम सब देश की प्रतिष्ठा को बढ़ाने के लिए, लोकतंत्र को मजबूत करने के लिए और व्यापक चर्चा संवाद के साथ देश की जनता का कल्याण कर सके, अंतिम व्यक्ति के जीवन में परिवर्तन ला सके, इसके लिए मैं आपका सहयोग चाहता हूं।
राज्यसभा में माननीय 34 सांसदों को सस्पेंड करना पड़ा इस सेशन के आखिरी दिन तक और 11 अन्य सांसदों को उनका केस प्रिविलेज कमेटी को रेफर किया गया है। तो कुल मिला के 45 माननीय सदस्यों को राज्यसभा में आज सस्पेंड करने का बड़ा ही दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण आज उनके व्यवहार के कारण ये स्थिति उपलब्ध हुई। मैं समझता हूँ ये उनकी प्री प्लान्ड स्ट्रैटेजी थी। वो चाहते ही नहीं थे कि हाउस अच्छी तरीके से चले।
Well, the Speaker has given the reasoning that the dignity of the House was not maintained. Despite repeated requests to the opposition benches, they continued to raise slogans. In fact, in one of the cases in the Rajya Sabha, it has also been alleged there was an effort by members of the opposition to try and climb onto the chair of the Speaker. Despite that, The opposition has reacted with rage and fury. The Congress called it the death of democracy, an attempt to silence any voice that is raised against the Modi government. And also now a parliament gherao has been announced by the Congress party on the 20th of this month. Remember, just hours ago, speaking to a Hindi daily, the Prime Minister had said that the seriousness of what has happened in Parliament cannot be underestimated. It is important, though, to go into the details of what is the intention behind the attack, who are the elements behind the attack, and also the security of people, of MPs, should be paramount, not the politics around it. However, none of this seems to have made any difference to members of INDI.
They have no moral ground to run this house. To expel all the, suspend or expel the opposition fully. How they will run the house? They will run the mockery, nothing else.
देश आज साफ साफ देख रहा है कि पार्लियामेंट के अंदर कैसे बुलडोजर चलाया जा रहा है। विरोधियों को कुचलने का एक प्रक्रिया है और सिर्फ अमित शाह जी को उनके विफलताओं को बचाने के लिए एक बुलडोजर चला रहे हैं विपक्ष पर।
Functioning only for one purpose, to suppress the entire voice of the opposition and to suspend maximum people, those who are raising the issues of the people and the security. Actually, our impression is that Parliament is for discussion and debate, but now the Parliament is for suspension of opposition members.
The big questions now are the relations between the opposition and the government at a point of no return after these mass suspensions? Is this a stifling of the entire opposition voice? Or will the glue of the suspended 92 only serve to bring members of the India alliance together? Finally, the question is, what do you make of the disruption that has happened so far inside Parliament? Yes, the issue of the security of MPs is paramount for not just Parliament, but the entire country. But is this disruption in the garb of a demand to have a debate? Joining us on the debate, we have Guru Prakash, National Spokesperson of the BJP, Sameer Chaugankar, Senior Journalist, Rajiv Ranjan, National Secretary of the JDU, Dr. Riju Dutta, Spokesperson of the TMC, Dr. Syed Hafiz, Spokesperson of the DMK, and Kamruzaman Chaudhary, Political Analyst. My first question naturally is to you, Guru Prakash. Do you want an opposition-less Parliament, where basically only the Treasury benches will hold sway? 92 MPs is unprecedented in parliamentary history. How do you justify it?
Padmaja, a very warm good evening to you and all my fellow panelists. Padmaja, before doing my research for this debate, I was just reminded of Dr. Ambedkar and a very prophetic speech that he made about Parliament as an institution. And the 3 Ds which he mentions: discipline, decorum, and dignity. These are the foundational norms for any institution. And the erosion of discipline, the erosion of decorum will automatically lead to the institution of Parliament as well. He had said, and I quote, that we need to have constitutional methods to achieve our social and economical objectives. If there is no resort to constitutional methods, then it is the grammar of anarchy. So what the opposition MPs are doing today, heckling, insulting the office of Speaker. The office of Speaker is an institution of Constitution. The office of Speaker is an institution of Parliament. And you are constantly heckling, you are constantly huddling, shouting slogans. Someone is jumping on the well. This is not a parliamentarian should behave. And before that, in an all-party meeting, Padmaja, there was a consensus. There was a bipartisan agreement that there will be no placards. But the fact of the matter, Padmaja, is that today, when very important legislative business was supposed to be taken care of, the J&K bill, the reservation and representation of women, the representation of our OBCs, the Congress party consciously, strategically, and by a very evil design, maliciously staged this so-called protest. We welcome disruption. Former minister, our senior leader Arun Jaitley ji has welcomed disruption. But disruptions like this, mindless disruption, disruption that might lead to violent behavior, this is not welcome, and this is not what Ambedkar and our makers of constitution envisioned for the world's largest democracy, Padmaja.
Okay, respond to this, Riju Dutta. If there is unruly behavior, undermining of the dignity of the House, what should be done? What should be done to unruly people?
Well, Dr. Ambedkar, when he formulated the constitution, could not envisage such a day when the parliamentarians of the country won't be safe. You mentioned 3 Ds. Dr. Ambedkar couldn't envisage there was another D, which is called death. It is a matter of life and death for the parliamentarians. The custodians of the central government or the union government who claims that we will keep this country secure couldn't even keep our lawmakers safe and secured on the day of the parliamentary attack. So all these big dialogues sound nice, but we have to go down to the brass tacks. What is the brass tacks? The Lok Sabha speaker, the custodian of all the Lok Sabha members responsible for their security, has himself failed in his duties. The person who is going left, right and center suspending MPs has himself failed his duties to secure the Lok Sabha.
Actually, you are conflating two issues.
Ceremony that day.
Riju Dutta, hold on a second. I want to pause you right there. I want to pause you because my question was more specific. What should be done when MPs or MLAs are unruly inside the house? Why I ask you this is because in November this year, 1 month ago, you threw out Shuvendu Adhikari from the West Bengal Assembly because you said he was unruly. In March 2022, Shuvendu Adhikari, along with BJP MLAs Deepak Barman, Shankar Ghosh, Manoj Tigga and Narhari Mahato, were suspended by the Speaker of the West Bengal Assembly. Why? Because you said that they were engaging in unruly behavior. So if decorum of the House is important in West Bengal, surely the decorum is important in the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha also?
Yes, of course the decorum is important, but if you are comparing BJP protesting inside Vidhan Sabha and you are comparing a terrorist attack in the parliament, then I think Times Now should grow a backbone.
No.
Enough.
It's okay. It's okay. You don't have to come at me. You don't have to come at me because you can't answer my question. I am comparing unruly behavior inside the West Bengal Assembly and unruly behavior inside the Lok Sabha. Let's compare apples and apples. What should be done for the terror attack? These 6 people are booked under UAPA and conspiracy charges. That is what should be done for terror attack. But what should be done for unruly behavior is my question.
No, madam, sorry. Sorry. You cannot compare apples with oranges.
No, I'm comparing apples and apples. Unruly behavior inside the Lok Sabha and unruly behavior inside Assembly, sir. Those are apples. Those are apples.
No. Sorry. Last session, I will remind you and your viewers, last session on the Manipur issue also, there was disruption in the parliament and few opposition MPs were also suspended. But there was not such a big hue and cry. You have to understand if there wouldn't, what the point I was trying to make before you cut me, that if there wouldn't have been an oath-taking ceremony that day, the Honorable Prime Minister and the Home Minister would have been inside the Lok Sabha. If it wouldn't have been a smoke bomb, today we wouldn't have this debate because 10 or 20s of MPs would have probably died. So you have to understand the gravity of the situation. Our demand is 2 very simple things, Padmaja, and I'm putting it on record. Number 1, the Honorable Home Minister who can go on the conclave of news channels and speak about this issue, the Honorable Prime Minister who is going on events and talking about this issue, the Honorable Home Minister, please come to the houses of the Parliament and talk about this issue.
Okay, second, Guru Prakash, why can't the Parliament have a statement from the Home Minister, they are saying? The least that they expect because their security was endangered.
No, Padmaja, I have given a very patient hearing to my dear friend from TMC, Mr. Riju Dutta, and I also saw how he dodged your question on our senior leaders in West Bengal, Mr. Shuvendu Adhikari, Mr. Narhari Mahato, and other so many MLAs who are constantly suspended on a daily basis by the dictatorial government of West Bengal, led by Mamta Didi. Second, and the most important thing, as far as the security and sovereignty of the country is concerned, and my friend Riju would agree, look at the track record of last 9 years. Whatever has happened in the parliament was deeply unfortunate, and the Prime Minister has taken a cognizance of it. Honorable Home Minister has taken a cognizance of it. Honorable Leader of the House in the Rajya Sabha, Piyush Goyal, has made a statement with respect to it. Honorable Leader in the Lok Sabha has made a statement to it. But the point is not this. The point is simply the diversion from the real issues. When you are bereft of logic, when you are bereft of any fact-based argument, you resort to disruption. And this disruption, when in the foundation of it, you agreed, the leader of the opposition in the all-party meeting agreed that there will be no disruption. This is, like I said, a very conscious, strategic and a deliberate and a malicious design by the leaders of the opposition so that the legislative business could not be taken care of. Madam, the parliament institution is a temple of democracy. We are the world's largest democracy. The whole world looks at us. The whole country looks at us. And the way you behave, you set the standard of dignity, decorum and discipline.
Standards of dignity.
You cannot hurl abuses. You can now short.
And the Prime Minister has responded. I want to just read out for the benefit of our viewers what the Prime Minister said. Nobody has undermined the importance of what happened, even though you roll your eyes at me. Here is what the Prime Minister said. संसद में जो घटना हुई उसकी गंभीरता को जरा भी कम नहीं आंकना चाहिए. Nobody should underestimate the seriousness of what happened. इसीलिए स्पीकर महोदय पूरी गंभीरता के साथ आवश्यक कदम उठा रहे हैं. जांच एजेंसियां सख्ती से जांच कर रही हैं. इसके पीछे कौन से तत्व है, क्या मंसूबे है, इसकी गहराई में आना उतना ही जरूरी है. एक मन से समाधान के रास्ते को खोजना चाहिए. ऐसे विषयों पर वाद विवाद या प्रतिरोध से सभी को बचना चाहिए. डू यू वांट टू लुक फॉर सॉल्यूशंस or do you want to have a debate and the subsequent politics? Riju Datta, quickly respond. I want to open this up. Yes.
यस अगर प्रधानमंत्री ये बात बोल रहे, बहुत अच्छी बात है, संसद में आके बोले ना. अगर ऐसे ही उनको इधर उधर बात करना है तो संसद को हटाइए, जंतर मंतर में ही बोल दीजिए देश के लिए. ये कोई तरीका नहीं है. एंड द सेकंड थिंग माय फ्रेंड गुरु प्रकाश सेड, इफ शुभेंदु वाज सस्पेंडेड एंड इट इज अ डिक्टेटोरियल गवर्नमेंट ऑफ ममता बनर्जी, देन बाय द सेम लॉजिक माय डियर फ्रेंड, सस्पेंडिंग ऑफ 92 opposition MPs, you only confess that BJP is running a dictatorial government. Think before you speak. There is no other issue in this country, no bill of Dalits, OBC, women, men, transgender, anything more important than the sanctity and the security of the parliament right now, which is still not addressed by the Home Minister or the Prime Minister. Who is Piyush Goyal? Who is Piyush Goyal to address this issue? It should be addressed by the Home Minister or the Prime Minister. That's all we are saying. And is it not a justified demand?
Okay, is it not a justified demand? Let me open this up. समीर जी, आप बताइए, आपने इतने टाइम से पार्लियामेंट को कवर किया है, क्या कभी ऐसा कोई प्रेसिडेंट रहा है? अटल जी की बात की जाती है दैट जब पार्लियामेंट अटैक हुआ था उसके बाद अटल जी से डिमांड की गई थी, उन्होंने स्टेटमेंट भी दिया था, और जब तब हो सकता है तो अब भी हो सकता है. ये भी एक टेरर अटैक ही है, यूएपीए लगाया गया है, तो फिर इसमें हेसिटेशन क्यों है? क्यों बातचीत से भागने की कोशिश की जा रही है?
देखिए पद्मजा, कभी भी पार्लियामेंट का सेशन जब शुरू होता है तो लोकसभा स्पीकर ऑल पार्टी मीटिंग्स बुलाते हैं. वो ऑल पार्टी मीटिंग्स क्यों बुलाते हैं? वो इसलिए बुलाते हैं कि सदन के अंदर सार्थक चर्चा हो, विचार विमर्श हो, बातचीत हो, वाद विवाद हो, और सदन का सत्र चले. जनता के करोड़ों रुपए टैक्स पेयर का जो पैसा सत्र को चलाने के लिए लग रहा है वो व्यर्थ में न जाए, वो पानी में न जाए, और एक सार्थक चर्चा देश देखे और संसद भी उसका हिस्सा बने. लेकिन आप ये देख सकते हैं कि पिछले कुछ समय से लगातार संसद के अंदर इस तरह का केओस क्रिएट किया जा रहा है जिससे संसद का सत्र चल न सके. मुझे लगता है कि विपक्ष की मांग जायज थी कि वहां पर उसका बयान आना चाहिए, लेकिन जब लोकसभा स्पीकर ने बयान दे दिया, राजनाथ सिंह रक्षा मंत्री ने इस संदर्भ में सदन के अंदर बयान दे दिया, अमित शाह और प्रधानमंत्री जी का बयान इस संदर्भ में आ चुका है कि सुरक्षा में जो चूक हुई है उसकी जांच की जा रही है, और उसकी गंभीरता को लोकसभा स्पीकर ने देखा है. लोकसभा स्पीकर ने सांसदों को पत्र लिखा इस संदर्भ के अंदर. मुझे लग रहा है इसके बाद विपक्ष को इस बात पर सदन चलने देना चाहिए था. लेकिन ये बात भी सही है कि 78 मेंबर सांसद का एक दिन के निष्कासन, वो भी पूरे सत्र के लिए थोड़ा मुझे लगता है ज्यादा हो सकता था. तो उन्हें एक दिन के लिए सस्पेंड करते, अगर कर वो फिर उधम करते, मस्ती कर, ऐसी स्थितियां उत्पन्न करते तो उन्हें फिर सस्पेंड किया जा सकता था. मुझे लग रहा है कि पूरे सत्र के लिए 78 मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट को सस्पेंड करना थोड़ा ज्यादा पनिशमेंट हो गया है.
78 नहीं, 92 इंक्लूडिंग द लोकसभा एंड राज्यसभा. आंसर दिस गुरु प्रकाश. एवरीवन इज सेइंग दिस इज एक्सेसिव. Total 92 plus sent to privileges committee. I'll tell you what the impression among common people is. Mahua Moitra gone, Raghav Chadda was gone, now he's brought back. Sanjay Singh in jail. Now 92 suspended. It's almost as if eventually you will only have your party sitting there.
Padmaja, I'll make two very brief points. In 1989, what happened? In 1989, during the Thakkar Commission report was tabled, 63 members of parliament were suspended. You say it's unprecedented. I agree the number of MPs are unprecedented, but it has happened before. Historically, it has happened. And the sort of examples that you just gave of Mahua's case, it is an open and shut case. It is a conflict of interest case. Cases similar to like of Mahua Moitra, in the past 11 members of parliament were suspended, sine die for the rest of their term. Do you give the example of Mr. Sanjay Singh of Aam Aadmi Party, who is deeply embroiled in corruption scam?
I know, but I'm just saying the common perception is जो पंगा लेगा बीजेपी से उसको ठिकाने लगा दिया जाएगा. That's what I'm saying. In the public mind, you realize this is the image that is gaining ground.
जो पंगा लेगा देश के संविधान से, जो पंगा लेगा देश के संविधान के आदर्शों से, उसको देश ठिकाने लगाएगा. ये कोई बीजेपी और कांग्रेस का विषय नहीं है. महुआ मोइत्रा ने जो किया, ये बीजेपी और कांग्रेस का विषय है क्या?
Syed Hafiz, and the BJP is right in saying there has been precedent of action against unruly behavior. This number of 92 is unheard of, but you have had 63 MPs who were suspended on March 15, 1989. In 2014, you had 18 members of parliament of the Lok Sabha suspended. In 2013, 12 suspended. 2012, 8 suspended, and so on and so forth. But it has happened.
Okay, let me start with this. People who have problem with West Bengal Assembly suspending Shivendra Adhikari or Sudhanshu Trivedi, whoever, sorry to forget his name, but they are justifying the same thing happened in the parliament. Just because your members in the assembly are the receiving end, it is an unjustifiable act. But when you do it to the members of the parliament, it comes to the discipline and decorum of the house. This hypocrisy has to be questioned first. Now, we are a democracy. Democracy, the ethos of democracy is about having a dialogue between the stakeholders, where the stakeholders are the government and the opposition. Here, you are justifying, I mean, not you, people who are saying Prime Minister has spoken. Prime Minister has spoken to a media person, but the real stakeholders inside the parliament are the opposition MPs. That is the fundamental principle of a democracy, to have a dialogue between the ruling dispensation and the opposition. No, for this fundamental and the basic structure of the democracy has to function, for which there are claims.
But don't you think there is hypocrisy also vis-a-vis this dialogue? Let me again give you the example. In West Bengal, when the suspensions happened, what were those MLAs saying? They were saying that there is a law and order problem in the state. You know what the irony is? That today there were members of the Delhi Assembly from the BJP who were questioning why has there been a splurge of 189 crores by Arvind Kejriwal in doing up his house. They were sent out. Marshals came, picked them up and threw them out of the house. What happens to dialogue when the BJP is at the receiving end?
No, you should.
There is a hypocrisy there as well. You want dialogue, there should be dialogue everywhere.
In this point, are you going to question? Are you going to question the same thing to the BJP also?
I just did. I don't know if you heard me.
Question to me and the TMC, but you haven't asked
I just did. I just asked them, why is it that anyone who opposes
you agreed to discipline and decorum, you justified it. Yeah. So that's what BJP did. You agree with it?
I have nobody to agree. I am going to sit here and question hypocrisy on both sides, sir. You cannot have standing up for the ideals of dialogue when you are at the receiving end in parliament. When it happens in a state where you are in government, you are like, let's shut them down.
Yes.
We are all for discipline. I'm sorry. If they need to answer for parliament breach, then the TMC should also answer for the Baktui massacre.
That implies to BJP also, right, Padmaja?
Yes,
that implies to BJP also. I think Guru Prakash has to answer that. He has to say when they have a different stand in West Bengal, but they have a different stand when it comes to parliament.
So do you.
Right?
So do you.
That hypocrisy also should be questioned. Now I'm coming back to the whole point. See here, when it comes to asking vote, it is the Prime Minister and the Home Minister who say, vote for me, I am there to answer. When it comes to questioning on critical issues where the government has failed, Piyush Goyal ji will answer. The justification is Piyush Goyal ji has answered. We have designated people to answer. This is not the way. You cannot have two different yardsticks. When it comes to electoral mandate, you come and say Modi ji will answer everything. When it comes to vital issue, to a security breach in the parliament, and it becomes, the hypocrisy of the BJP is this. When they are in the opposition, it is the duty of the government or the people in power to run the house smoothly.
Okay.
And when it comes to they being in power, it becomes the duty of the opposition to behave.
Okay,
This
very
hypocrisy,
quickly,
I'll tell you,
everyone
in
wants to respond to this.
2011,
Sameer Chaugankar
when
first and then
movement
Guru
and
Prakash.
Anna Hazare was detained, the ruckus created.
Sameer ji.
देखिए पद्मजा, विपक्ष की बात समझना पड़ेगी कि लोकसभा चुनाव के पहले ये आखिरी सत्र था, सिर्फ बजट का सत्र होने वाला है। अभी ये पार्लियामेंट का सेशन अब लगभग खत्म हो चुका है इस 2019 की सरकार का। विपक्ष क्या इसी नैरेटिव के साथ, इसी बिहेवियर के साथ जनता के बीच जाना चाहता है? विपक्ष के पास ये समय था कि जनता के मुद्दे वो लोकसभा के अंदर चर्चा में उठा सकता था। विपक्ष लगातार हल्ला करके, मुझे लग रहा है अपने दिए हुए समय को बर्बाद कर रहा है और जनता के बीच चुनाव में उन्हें जाना है कुछ दिनों के बाद। इस सत्र का वह सार्थक चर्चा के साथ समापन कर सकता था। मुझे लग रहा है विपक्ष ये बात करने में चूक रहा है। विपक्ष को इसका खामियाजा 2024 के लोकसभा चुनाव में जनता के बीच जाकर भुगतना होगा। विपक्ष इस बात को समझ रहा है। मुझे लग रहा है कि सरकार को भी ये इस बात में थोड़ा, मुझे लगता है कि एक सॉफ्ट स्टेप लेना चाहिए था। इट्स टू हार्ड टू 92 मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट को आप सीधे पूरे सत्र के लिए बाहर कर देते। मुझे लगता है कि उन्हें आप आज सत्र के लिए करते, कल अगर वो करते तो उन्हें फिर बाहर किया जा सकता था, या लोकसभा स्पीकर कल फिर सर्वदलीय बैठक बुलाकर एक बार इस संदर्भ में बात कर सकते थे। दोनों पक्षों की तरफ से बताता है कि सदन के अंदर पक्ष और विपक्ष, सत्ता पर और विपक्ष के बीच संबंध कितने ज्यादा खराब हो चुके हैं। और मुझे लग रहा है ये आने वाले दिनों में नई सरकार के अंदर भी, नए सदन के अंदर भी हमें इसी तरह का नजरा देखना पड़ेगा, जहां सार्थक चर्चाएं नहीं होंगी। अब वहां पर होल्ला होगा और सदन का समय ऐसा ही जाया होगा।
In fact, if anything, the government may have unwittingly, and Rajiv Ranjan ji, before I come to you, I want to play out what Sudeep Bandyopadhyay said. At this point, Guru Prakash, the India Alliance had many problems in their midst about seat sharing, etc. But today it seems you have actually managed to bring them together quite cohesively. Let's listen to Sudeep Bandyopadhyay.
बीजेपी दल संसदीय गणतंत्र में विरोधियों को दबा के रखना चाहते हैं। दे आर ट्राइंग टू गैग द वॉइस ऑफ द ऑपोजिशन। ये विषय पर हम लोग चर्चा करेंगे। कल इंडिया अलायंस का मीटिंग है और हम लोग एकजुट होकर जितना दूर तक जाए हम लोग प्रतिवाद में शामिल होंगे, सब मिलके। ऑल एलियंस पार्टीज ऑफ इंडिया अलायंस विल बिकम क्लोजर टू ईच अदर आफ्टर दिस इंसिडेंट।
राजीव रंजन जी, एक संजीवनी मिल गई है इंडिया को।
जी देखिए, इंडिया के पास तो जनता ने ही संजीवनी दे दी है। जो इन 3 राज्यों के चुनाव नतीजों से पूरे देश में एक उन्माद का वातावरण भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने बनाने की कोशिश की है। उनके चेहरे पर जो अहंकार दिख रहा है, उन्हें ये समझना होगा कि देश के 2 हिस्सों ने उन्हें पूरी तरह से इसी चुनाव में नकारा भी है। नॉर्थ ईस्ट और साउदर्न इंडिया में पूरी तरह से भारतीय जनता पार्टी का वजूद समाप्ति के कगार पर है। अब देखिए, अब सवाल यह है कि आप 3 राज्यों में, वहां लोकसभा की सीटें आपकी सैचुरेशन पॉइंट पर है, उससे ज्यादा तो आपकी हो नहीं सकती थी। और नतीजों को लेकर के जो एक वातावरण बना, मैं कंपेयर कर रहा हूं 89, राजीव गांधी जी को 400 एमपीज थे और 63 एमपीज का सस्पेंशन हुआ 89 में। उसी के बाद जो देश का चुनाव हुआ और वहां कांग्रेस की एक बड़ी हार हुई। आज आपके पास भी एक प्रचंड जनादेश है और शायद आपको ये घबराहट है कि आप 2024 में नहीं लौटेंगे। ये जो असुरक्षा का भाव है वो कहीं ना कहीं ये संसदीय लोकतंत्र का गला घोटने के लिए आपको विवश कर रहा है। मैं देख रहा हूं कि पिछले 10 वर्षों में 150 से ज्यादा सांसदों को आपने सस्पेंड किया और अकेले इस सत्र में आपने 92 लोगों को सस्पेंड कर दिया। देखिए, ये हताशा और बौखलाहट है। कुछ चीजों को ट्रेजरी बेंच अगर चाहे तो टकराव को टालने के लिए, निसंदेह हमारी मांग क्या थी? अमित शाह जी संसद में आए, अपना बयान दे, और तब तक कार्रवाइयां शुरू हो गई थी, ये टकराव की स्थिति नहीं होती। वो आते और वो बोलते कि कार्रवाई हो रही है, लोग गिरफ्तार हो रहे हैं, जांच हो रही है। इतनी बात कहने से उनकी प्रतिष्ठा नहीं चली जाती। लेकिन ये पूरा टकराव का जो वातावरण है भारतीय जनता पार्टी स्वयं बनाती है, जिससे वो लोगों को आतंकित कर सके। ये बहुमत का आतंक है।
बहुमत का आतंक. Interesting response, Guru Prakash. और as Mahua Moitra had quoted, I'm quoting her again now, when she said, जब नाश मनुज पे छाता है, पहले विवेक मर जाता है. 89 parallels being drawn. Guru Prakash, बहुमत का आतंक.
मैं सुन रहा था, वरिष्ठ नेता हैं हमारे राजीव जी। मैं बस दर्शकों के लिए बताना चाहता हूं, आपने कहा कि नॉर्थ ईस्ट में हम खत्म हो गए हैं। असम में हमारे चीफ मिनिस्टर हिमंत बिस्व शर्मा, जहां तक मेरी जानकारी है, भारतीय जनता पार्टी के हैं। त्रिपुरा में मुख्यमंत्री मानिक जी, जहां तक मेरी जानकारी है, भारतीय जनता पार्टी के हैं। मेघालय में हमारी अलायंस की सरकार है, सीएम है कोनराड संगमा जी। नागालैंड में हम है, सिक्किम में हम है, अरुणाचल प्रदेश में जहां तक मेरी जानकारी है, पेमा खांडू जी भारतीय जनता पार्टी के सदस्य हैं। तो ये कह देना कि नॉर्थ ईस्ट से भारतीय जनता पार्टी समाप्त हो गई है, मैं कहीं कुछ हद तक तथ्य इस तरफ इशारा नहीं करते हैं। दक्षिण की बात करते हैं, दक्षिण में पौंडीचेरी में भारतीय जनता पार्टी और एनआर कांग्रेस की साथ में गठबंधन की सरकार है। तेलंगाना में हमारे 4 मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट है। कर्नाटक में हमारे 29 मेंबर ऑफ पार्लियामेंट है। देश की वित्त मंत्री तमिलनाडु की है, देश के विदेश मंत्री तमिलनाडु के हैं। तो ये कह देना कि दक्षिण में, उत्तर पूर्व में ये फॉल्ट लाइन की पॉलिटिक्स होती है और हम लोग इससे ताल्लुक नहीं रखते। नंबर 1। Number 2, what Mahua has said, you know, Padmaja, we have debated it on multiple occasions. What Mahua did was an insult to the
respond to what he's saying. Tyranny of majority.
What Mahua did, shared her...
Tyranny of majority. You have a brute majority, you are now terrorizing the opposition.
Hollow words. It is the people of India. And I don't necessarily, it is a very good oxymoron that you propose. It's a brute majority. It is a parliamentary majority. It is a simple majority. It is the will of the 140 crore people of India who are speaking in your favor. If you are not getting, तो ये तो अंगूर खट्टे हैं. This is the proper case of Angur Khatte of the opposition leader. When you are not getting the majority, you are saying कि ये tyranny of majority है. अरे there are institutions, there is check and balances theory, there is a separation of power in the Constitution of India. And Padmaja, just allow me last 10 seconds. I would like to remind my friend from the TMC what our first Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru said in his letter to the Chief Ministers on 4th of October 1951. He said, and I quote, if once the reputation of our legislatures goes down, the democracy itself will be in peril. Therefore, the reputation of these legislatures as also of our services must be strictly guarded. And any misbehavior should lead to inquiry and action.
Okay, so now that Nehruji has been quoted, we might as well bring in Kamal Zaman Chaudhary.
Jawaharlal Nehru and Honorable...
Okay, respond.
Yeah, Padmaja, you know, continuing with what Guru Prakash ji has been just now saying on, this is sheer arrogance of power. Nothing more, nothing less than that. You know, if democracy or if the country has given you the mandate to rule it, it also gives the responsibility to govern democratically. Something the
Nehru ji has said that it must be leading to inquiry and action. It is what Jawaharlal Nehru said, sir. It is not what I am saying.
You have
Jawaharlal Nehru said
the entire debate.
Sort of
Now coming to the basic point.
Okay, you made your point. Let him speak, please. He's just coming to the debate. Yes.
You are disagreeing. Padmaja, if he is disagreeing with Nehru,
Padmaja, you just tell me.
This is a new Congress. This is not Nehruji's Congress.
Is the Parliament answerable
new
to
Congress,
Amit Shah?
New ideals, perhaps. Yes. Finish your point. Kamal Zaman Chaudhary.
Come on. Don't get rattled. Please keep shut. Let me finish.
Finish your point. Go on.
The point here is that who is answerable to the Parliament? Is Amit Shah answerable to the Parliament, or Parliament answerable to the Amit Shah? This is what arrogance is here. And you know, particularly we from the opposition benches, we need to learn a lot from Bharatiya Janata Party. How they have diverted the entire issue just to save one MP, Pratap Simha, from scrutiny and from the ethics committee. It was basically he who had issued the passes to these terror accused who are charged under UAPA in the parliament, who have attacked the parliament. You have got the Prime Minister speaking outside the parliament on the Manipur issue, but he does not have the time to come inside parliament and reply to the parliament. Home Minister speaks on the media channel, he does not have the time to come to the parliament and speak. Now what else option? Thank God I am not an MP. You have got a Lok Sabha speaker for 4.5 years. Om Birla ji has yet to appoint any deputy speaker of the house. Why? This is not parliamentary democracy. Let me remind you what happened with the 3 farm laws. When they were brought in, the arrogance of power did not allow the parliament to debate and discuss. Same thing happened when it was withdrawn. Without any discussion, the bills were withdrawn. Why? You don't have any audacity to run the parliament. Just dissolve it. Or your policy.
You're right,
policy
sir. There always should be democracy, parliamentary democracy and discussion. But it is charming how you sing homilies to it once you're in the opposition. But it didn't stop you from actually suspending 63 MPs in 1989 and many more in the following years. But yes, Guru Prakash, at some point you might just have to do a climb down, because everyone sitting here from TMC, DMK, JDU, Congress are saying one thing. We are in this united and we are going to call out this tyranny. Parliament घेराव होगा 2 दिन बाद.
नहीं पद्मजा, स्वागत है. लोकतंत्र में तो घेराव होना चाहिए, लोकतंत्र में आंदोलन होना चाहिए. इसी बहाने कम से कम इंडिया अलायंस के लोग सक्रिय तो होंगे, एक्टिव तो होंगे, अपने एसी चेंबर से बाहर तो निकलेंगे, सड़क में धूल तो खाएंगे. हम तो चाहते हैं, हम तो स्वागत करते हैं इसका. लोकतंत्र में जितना आंदोलन होगा उतना लोकतंत्र के हित में है. लेकिन लोकतंत्र के नाम पे लोकतंत्र की परंपराओं को, लोकतंत्र की संस्कारों को आप ऐसे तार करेंगे, ये तो हम नहीं होने देंगे ना. जब अंबेडकर सरीके लोग, जब नेहरू सरीके लोग ये कहते हैं कि लोकतंत्र में लोक लाज होता है, और आप स्पीकर के सामने आकर के, चेयर के सामने आकर के, ये बिल है आप इसको फाड़ देंगे, ऐसे करके आप उनके ऊपर ये बिल फेंकेंगे, ये सम्मान है क्या? ये लोकतंत्र का लोकलाज है क्या? ये उदाहरण प्रस्तुत करना होगा. और नेहरू जी ने भी अपने मुख्यमंत्रियों को लिखी चिट्ठियों में यह सिद्ध किया था कि लोकतंत्र में लोक लाज महत्वपूर्ण है, और यदि कोई सदस्य ऐसा बिहेवियर करता है तो उसके खिलाफ सख्त से सख्त कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए. ये जवाहरलाल नेहरू ने मुख्यमंत्रियों को लिखा है.
बाबा साहब अम्बेडकर. Disciplinary action or stifling of dissent? I think the People's Court is the best judge. However, the issue also likely is going to be taken to a court of law. Let's see where they stand on it. For the time being, thanks very much, gentlemen, for joining me. It will be interesting, though, to see how this plays out once members of INDIA meet tomorrow, if they present a joint front on the issue. In just a month from now, Ayodhya will